Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. The text came in at 11:47 p.m. I miss you already. Tonight was worth the risk. It wasn't sent to me. I was standing in the kitchen half asleep, drinking a glass of water when her phone lit up on the counter. She'd left it face up, something she never did. For a second I told myself not to look. Trust isn't supposed to require supervision. But the name wasn't saved. Just a number. And beneath it those 8 words. My chest didn't explode like in the movies. It didn't feel dramatic. Felt hollow. Like someone had quietly removed something vital from inside me and left me standing there. Unaware I was already bleeding. I didn't wake her up. I didn't storm into the bedroom. I just stood there staring at that message until the screen went dark. If I'm honest, that text wasn't the beginning. The beginning was months earlier. When she started guarding her phone like it contained state secrets. When she began taking late team calls from the balcony. When she started going to the gym at 8 p.m. instead of 6, saying it was less crowded. I told myself I was paranoid. Work had been stressful. She was tired. Marriage goes through phases. But then there were the smaller things. She stopped reaching for my hand in public. She laughed at texts but angled the screen away. She began wearing perfume to the grocery store. Each detail was tiny on its own. Together they formed a quiet, suffocating pattern. Still I questioned myself first. Was I being insecure? Was I projecting my fear of losing her? After 10 years together, love changes shape. It isn't fireworks every day. Maybe I was expecting too much. But love doesn't usually come with secrecy. The night I found out for sure, I wasn't looking for proof. She had fallen asleep early. Her phone buzzed again, this time from the same number. I told myself I just needed clarity. Something to either calm my fears or confirm them. Her password hadn't changed. That hurt more than if it had. The messages weren't graphic. They were worse. They were intimate. Inside jokes. Plans. Compliments she used to give me. I've never felt this understood before. That one made my hands shake. We used to stay up until 2 a.m. talking about everything. Our childhoods, our fears, our ridiculous dreams of moving somewhere quiet near the ocean. I thought we were understood by each other. Apparently, she had found that feeling somewhere else. I didn't scroll for long. I didn't need to. The truth had already settled in my bones. The next evening, she told me she was working late. She kissed my cheek lightly the way you kiss a relative. I won't be too late, she said. I nodded. Okay. I didn't argue. I didn't ask questions. Instead, I waited 15 minutes after she left and followed. I hated myself for it. I've never been the jealous, tracking my spouse type. But clarity has a way of overriding pride. She wasn't at the office. She was at a small restaurant across town. Not somewhere romantic, just quiet enough to feel private. I sat in my car across the street and watched her through the window. She was smiling. Not polite smiling. Not tired smiling. The kind of smile she used to give me when I surprised her with coffee at work. And across from her sat him. Mid-30s maybe. Casual button-down. Leaning forward when she talked. Hanging on to every word. At one point she reached across the table and touched his hand. That small gesture hit harder than anything. It wasn't lust. It was connection. I didn't go inside. I didn't cause a scene. I just drove away. When she came home that night, I was on the couch. How was work? I asked. She kicked off her shoes. Long, exhausting. She didn't know I'd watched her laugh for 2 hours. I looked at her, really looked at her, and tried to find the woman I married. I didn't see a villain. I saw someone conflicted. Someone distant. Someone who had slowly walked away from us without saying goodbye. Are you happy? I asked quietly. She paused. That pause told me everything. Of course, she said too quickly. I nodded. But something inside me had already made a decision. The next morning I packed a bag. Not dramatically. Just clothes, toiletries, my laptop. When she noticed, her face went pale. What are you doing? I know, I said. She didn't ask what I knew. She just sat down at the edge of the bed like her knees couldn't hold her. I didn't mean for it to happen, she whispered. That sentence. As if betrayal was an accident. Like spilling coffee. How long? I asked. A few months. Each month replayed in my head: birthdays, dinners, quiet nights watching TV. all of it layered over with deception. Do you love him? I asked. Tears filled her eyes. I don't know. That hurt more than if she'd said yes. I nodded slowly. I'm not going to fight you, I said. If you're unsure about us, that's already my answer. I walked out without yelling, without slamming the door. Silence felt heavier than anger. I moved into a small rental across town. The first week was unbearable. Every memory felt contaminated. The couch we picked together. The vacation photos. The way she used to trace circles on my arm when she couldn't sleep. I kept asking myself what I'd missed. Was I inattentive? Too focused on work? Did I stop trying? But then I remembered something important. Struggling doesn't justify betrayal. If she was unhappy, she could have told me. She chose someone else instead. 2 weeks later, there was a knock on my door. When I opened it, he was standing there. The man from the restaurant. For a second, I thought I might punch him. But the anger I expected wasn't there. Just exhaustion. Can we talk? He asked. His voice wasn't cocky. It was nervous. I stepped aside. He sat on the edge of my couch like he didn't belong there. She told me you left, he said. I did. He ran a hand through his hair. I didn't know she was still trying to fix things with you. I almost laughed. Fix things? I said. She was building something with you. He looked down. She said you two were distant. That it was basically over. I felt something shift then, not rage but clarity. She never told me that, I said. He nodded slowly. I figured. There was no triumph in his expression. No smirk. Just discomfort. She's confused, he continued. She says she loves you, but she feels alive with me. That word again. Alive. I swallowed hard. And you? He hesitated. I care about her, but I don't want to be the reason someone's marriage ends. It already ended, I said quietly. We sat in silence. Two men connected by the same fracture. I didn't come here to fight, he said. I came because you deserve to hear it from someone who isn't lying to you. That surprised me. Thank you, I said, meaning it. When he left, I didn't feel victorious. I felt free. A few days later, she called. I heard you spoke to him, she said. I did. Silence stretched between us. I never wanted to hurt you, she whispered. I know, I said. But you did. She cried softly. I don't know what's wrong with me. Nothing's wrong with you, I replied. You just made a choice. And you're not fighting for us? That question settled everything. I shouldn't have to compete for my own wife. She didn't argue. For the first time in months, the conversation felt honest. I hope you find what you're looking for, I told her. And you? She asked. I looked around my small, quiet apartment. I think I just did. It's been a year now. The pain didn't vanish overnight. Some mornings still feel heavier than they should.